Welcome to the Daughters of the Road podcast. In this space, we envision cultivating a community that inspires, empowers, and supports women in motorsports culture. We seek to engage in lifelong adventure, create perpetual bonds between sisters, and really hone in the skills necessary for navigation throughout life. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Brandy.
And we are Daughters of the Road.
Today we have a hell of a guest on. Darika, known by the nickname DizzyStunts, is widely known for her stunt riding on a Grom and Sportster. She infiltrated the stunt scene about 3 years ago on a Honda CRF100 before getting her first Harley-Davidson. Over the past couple of years, she's progressed immensely, pushing the limits and accomplishing many stunts from wheelies and coasters to hand drags.
But the thrill of motorsports doesn't stop there for Dizzy. True to her name, she took up drifting in a hot second. From motorcycles to drift cars, she aims for the thrill, and trust me, she's just getting started. We're so happy you joined us on the Daughters of the Road podcast today to share a glimpse into your wild life.
I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah. So it's been a pretty crazy ride the past couple years for you. I mean, I've been following you for the past, I think I met you like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, so like, can you share a little bit into how you carved out your little space in the motorcycle industry?
Honestly, I don't even know.
I love it.
I started with just wanting to know how to wheelie a motorcycle. I was like, oh, I want to wheelie a motorcycle. Like, let me try it. And I couldn't do it for the life of me. So I got out there every single day on this little 50cc bike. And I would just like put both of my feet down, try to wheelie. And eventually I found balance point and I moved from there. Once I started wheeling pretty good, I just started doing more tricks and more tricks and more tricks. And then it got to the point where I was like getting known for like wheelies, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the stunt scene.
I just ended up here.
Yeah. I don't know how I got here.
That's awesome. So like, what kind of kid were you? Because I mean, like that takes some A, determination, B, it seems like you're a little bit risk adverse, I would say.
Yeah, I was a bad kid. I was a bad kid.
A bad kid, straight up.
What is a bad kid?
I was just a troublemaker for sure. I know you were pretty much.
I was.
Oh,
put
you're
me
right.
in the...
You're right.
Try to throw me under the bus.
But no, I was just a troublemaker. I always would like break the rules, like trying to have fun, always doing stuff with my dad. He's a troublemaker too, so I think that's where I get it from for sure. Oh. But yeah, definitely a crazy childhood of mine.
Yeah, what was your dad like?
Oh, my dad. He's a motorcycle rider himself. He was in the motocross, more of like dirt bikes and stuff. He'd go on the tracks and do the big jumps and gnarly stuff like that. I tried to get into that in the very beginning, but it's a little scary going way up in the air like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Did you ever go to did you go on tracks when you were a little kid?
Yeah, definitely. He would take us out to the dunes. He would take us out to, like, even around the neighborhood, because Vegas is a lot of dirt. So he would take us out in the neighborhood and just, like, ride in the dirt with us. Me and my sister, she also rides, too. But yeah, he definitely influenced a big part of my writing side.
That's so cool. There's a picture of her when she was learning how to ride or how to wheelie.
How to wheelie, and then I also added a picture of me when I got my first motorcycle when I was like 5-6 years old. It was that same 50cc that I have today.
Oh my
I don't think
goodness.
I'll ever get rid of it.
You can't.
Yeah.
You gotta keep that one.
Yeah, if you still have it today, you absolutely have to keep it.
Exactly.
Never,
It runs
ever.
and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Keep it running.
Yeah.
Is this photo on this little dirt bike here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's coming up.
Let's see it.
Little Dizzy.
Okay, one more second.
Little Dizzy. I love it.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's the dirt bike. That's when I first started learning how to wheelie. I would just, like, put my feet down like that and try my hardest to keep the wheel up. I'd mostly go in circles, though, because I had one foot down. But that's how I learned balance point. It's a really good way to learn balance point, too. Being that low to the ground, no power, just, like, trying to learn where the bike wants to be when it's in the wheelie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that one have gears in it? Like, did you have to automatically shift? Did it automatic shift, or did you have a
it's
clutch?
just automatic.
Automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really that was the premise, was you were learning balance point, and then you
Yep.
moved on to another motorcycle that had the clutch, so you had to shift gears and all that.
Yeah, I learned that earlier in life though. Before that bike, before I started to learn how to wheelie, I started with that bike. Actually, I started with a little 50 quad when I was like 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before that, my dad would put me on the front of his KTM and have me hold the bars, and he would like go fast. I loved it. I was only like 3 years old, and then he got me my own quad. And then when I was like 5 or 6, he told me, you get straight A's in school, I'll take you and I'll go get you your own dirt bike right off the lot. And I was like,
Oh,
okay.
there's you and your dad.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's like a high quality image still.
Yeah, right?
When I was a baby, mine were like Olin Mills.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. We already talked about this a little bit.
Oh my
Mine were
God.
probably
Oh my
like still like what is that? 9mm? No, that's what is the first like strips?
You were like filmed.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh. No, yeah, that was in like 2003, 2004 ish.
Done out of high school. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But that's so rad. Like you're so young and you're still making a breakout in the motorcycle space.
Yeah.
For you, for stunt riding, everything. So it's really cool to be witnessing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What motivated you to stunt like ride? Like, why did you decide like that was something you wanted to venture?
Well, it started with my dad, obviously. He got me into the dirt bikes and stuff. And then when I was like 16, I got my own job and I saved up all my money for a dirt bike. That's what I wanted.
That's awesome.
I got the dirt bike and I started dirt bike riding with my friends and stuff. And then 18, 19 came around and I had this boyfriend. His name was Corbin. And he was stunt riding a Harley at the time.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, this isn't possible. Like, who's doing this? This isn't possible. And he took me to the lot where everyone was stunt riding their Harleys. And I was just amazed. I was like, there's no way this is a real thing. And I saw like the titanium blocks. And I was like, oh my gosh. I saw them scraping and it looked like fire to me. And I was like, they're really doing this.
Yeah.
So that really inspired me, just seeing everybody at the lot. And then from there, I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started. It started on that little 50, and then I got that 100, and then it went from there. I got the Harley, tried to wheelie it for like 6 to 8 months, could not get it up. I got it to like 3 o'clock, but that's about it. And then I got the Grom so I could try to learn how to wheelie even better. And then eventually, 3 months after having the Grom, I learned how to wheelie Harley, finally.
Wow.
And then that's where it started. That was like, actually, it was the last day of 2020. So 2021 is officially when it started, January 1st, 2021.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Who did you look up to? Was there any girls in the scene that you were like, dang, that's tight?
Well, everyone knows Ange
Yeah.
Pullen and Jason Pullen, the OGs, the best. I definitely have always looked up to them.
Yeah.
Still do today. Seabear Stunts was definitely an inspiration. Other than that, there's so many. Like, I could go on and on about all
Yeah.
the stunt riding people that, like, really inspired me, because I started following all these different stunt riders online, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that trick, and I want to have that type of bike, and I want to do this. So it was just
Yeah.
a lot of people that inspired me in the first start of my stunt riding, for sure.
That's so rad.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because you like, I feel like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like just watching you, you've progressed so fast. And it's like, is that normal, or is it like you spend literally every hour
So
on it?
I get that a lot. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, you progress so fast. And then people want to like wheelie and do the things I'm doing. But no one gets that I was out there every single day.
Yes.
Every single day I'd get off work and I'd go ride. I'd do this and then I'd go ride. And I would just ride like around my house. I'd put on sweatpants. I wouldn't get ready. I'd just put my helmet on and I'd go ride for at the very least, 30 minutes a day, all the way up to like 3 to 4 hours. Just like doing speed wheelies too. Like I couldn't even like get it all the way up to do anything. But I practice every single day in the very beginning. I've kind of slowed down now. I practice definitely at the very least every weekend, but I ride at least like 5 times a week. Just kind of practicing my tricks, trying to learn new tricks all the time. But yeah, that's how it started. I was practicing all the time, and not a lot of people have that determination to do that. They just like think a weekend of trying to wheelie is gonna make them be a great wheelie person, you know?
Yeah.
But that's not how it works. You gotta get out there every damn day and do your thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
What is the next stunt you're looking forward to learning?
Oh, definitely, probably some no-handers on the Harley.
Oh, yeah.
I want to throw some no-handers on the Harley. I've definitely been working on rolling burnouts on the Dynas. When I get my Dyna, I definitely want to start my rolling burnouts really good because I think it's so cool. It's loud and there's smoke and it's just like they get to do a lot of things when they're doing rolling burnouts. So I'm like, I want to do that, you know?
Yeah. So like a little surprise. Yes, she has a Dyna on the way.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? That's so rad.
I do. So yeah, I was planning on getting a new bike anyways, a new Harley. I was looking at Sportsters. Brandy, you know this.
Just kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm just
Come
kidding.
on.
I mean, you've already done that, so it's like, let's move on.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, so like when one Sportster's down, I'll ride my other Sportster. That's how
Yeah.
I was thinking of it. And I was like, I can't wheelie a Dyna, so like, why would I do that, you know? And then January this year, I had a few friends that were like, get on my Dyna, get on my Dyna. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'll get on your Dyna. I can't do anything, but I'll try, you know?
What was it that you felt like you couldn't do?
I felt like the bike was just too heavy for me to get up, like actually like do the seat bounce and like lift it up a little bit. I thought it was way too heavy for me. But in reality, it's a lot about technique and like how you let the clutch out, how you give it gas with the Harleys. And I got on one of my friend's Dynas, JB Stunts. His real name's Justin.
Yeah.
And also Kevin, Bruv Stunts. He also let me wheelie his Harley that day too. And I just gave it my all that day. I was like, you know what? They let me try, so I'm going to give it my all. So I got it up that day. I was super...
There she goes.
Yep.
Up on the Dyna.
That's a big old Dyna.
And that was Kevin's, right?
No, this is
that
more
one?
recent. This is a friend named Jake. He let me borrow his Dyna at the lot a couple weeks ago. Now that I can wheelie Dynas, everyone's like, okay, go ahead, wheelie mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know. But yeah, so now that I know I can wheelie Dynas, I was like, let me get one. Let me get one of my own and set it up specifically for my weight, for me. And I did just that. But it is not here in Las Vegas. It's out in New York right now. It's being built by Joey Wells. I'm having him build it because he is also a stunt rider and he knows how to destroy bikes, but also knows how to make them undestroyable.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'm professional at breaking bikes. So can you just make this bike to where I can't break it for a long time? I know I will break it eventually, but make it very, very good so I can't break it. And he said, I got you.
Yeah.
And
So-
Joey maintains like all the East Coast and Boys bikes, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Definitely.
rad. You know, they obviously trust him to work on their bikes and
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's out there doing like mobile repairs in Daytona right now. Like,
Poor thing, I always feel like he's running ragged because like everybody has him on a project, but
Oh,
then
yeah.
he gets in the streets and he just kills it. Like
Yeah.
he's such a good rider.
yeah,
Definitely. And he's a great person on top
Yes.
of that. So I was more than happy to be like, okay, like, let's do this. Like, you can have my Dyna. We'll get started with it out there. And then I'm going to go out there and obviously ride with all of them. And when it's finished, it's actually almost finished,
That's
which
so
is
cool.
super cool. I got it 1 month ago today. And all I need right now is like little things like a motor mount, levers, like little things like that. So we're working on getting those little things. That'll be done. and I'll be on my own dyna.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
so stoked.
That was like the best news ever when you came into the dealership and you were like, I'm going to build a dyna. And I was like, hell yes. I'm like, I was waiting for you to say that. I love pushing people to their limits and being like, dude, you know you could do it.
Exactly. There was a lot of people that were like, you got a dyna. Like, you're good. You could do it. And I was like, no, I can't. And then eventually I just like really gave it my all and I could. And I was like, oh my gosh, who am I?
The power of the motor.
Right?
Have confidence in it. Trust it. Trust yourself.
Definitely.
Well, that's the thing is it's like kind of redefining what your limit is. You're like pushing past that and it just opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
Absolutely. I couldn't be more happy too that I actually like pushed myself to do it, and now I'm like pushing myself on my own big dyna. I say big because like I'm used to my little Sportster. You know,
but you're also
skinny.
tiny as heck.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, she's like 100 pounds wet.
She's like 95, bitch.
Hold on. I'm 110, all right?
She's like, hold
Run
up.
it back.
So when you're talking about building this dyna, what are the essentials that a new stunt rider or maybe like somebody that's like just getting into it should do to get their bike set up to be able to stunt ride it?
I would say definitely start off with a small bike if you plan on learning how to stunt ride. I would start on like a little pit bike or a Grom or something. And then if you were to go with the Harleys, it doesn't take a lot, but it does at the same time. You definitely have to cut your fender, get some different bars, maybe do some cams, different stuff like that. It all depends on what kind of bike you get to. A lot of us kind of shoot for the lower year bikes just because of how they're built and stuff. So it doesn't take much, but at the same time, it kind of does.
Yeah.
And it takes that motivation and that determination as well, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What other hobbies are you into? Because like you put so much into your stunt riding. Is there anything else that piques your interest?
So on my on my Instagram, I definitely do focus on the stunt riding and the Harleys and stuff. But outside of Instagram, I do so much. My dad also influenced a lot of my other sports, as in like shooting. We go shooting a lot. We go out on the boat. We go wakeboarding, different stuff like that, tubing. Definitely love being out in nature, like hiking, all of that. Dirt bikes, off-roading. I'm kind of like an outside type of girl. I like to do all that stuff. I know you guys do too. You guys are
like,
always
hold
out there.
We're about to put together something.
Yeah, right?
She's always invited. She knows
Yes.
I know. I need to come out with you guys, definitely. I'm always like doing such random stuff at last minute that I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, that's the same with us, is that
Yeah,
it's usually
there's never
just
a plan.
last minute, and then everybody's like, what? I've got to work or something.
Yeah. Or, why didn't you guys tell us? I'm like, dude, this came up like 30 minutes ago. I'm
Right.
like, cool, like, let's go here now.
Yeah, that happens all the time with me and my friends. I'm like, I'm sorry I didn't invite you. It was like, I left 10 minutes ago and I didn't know I was going here.
Yeah.
Type of thing, you know?
That's why I posted today about low maintenance friends. It's like, if you're going to be like in our little friend group, it's like, you've got to be like very minimal because it's just so, everybody's lives are busy. Everybody's life's got things that come up, and it's nice to have like those people that you can be like, yo, what's up? We doing this or not? And if it's cool, it's cool. If it's not, it's not. And we don't get all booty hurt about it.
Yeah.
I have people that like drop in my DMs all the time. They're like, thanks for the invite. I'm like, bro. I'm like, if I could just send out an SOS, hey, we're going to go ride dirt bikes today.
Yeah, and then 70 people show up.
Yeah.
Great.
Or nobody shows up and they're like, oh, yeah, I saw that after you did it. I'm like, cool. Like, I put it out there. If you come, you come. If you don't, I don't give a shit. Sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I don't know if it was last year or something, we were talking about going on long distance trips on the motorcycles, and you were like super stoked about that.
Yes,
that
because I
something you're still
want
interested in?
to. I want to go on my Dyna because I have a bigger gas tank now, y'all.
Yes.
I don't have a little gas tank anymore.
You would be amazed. I think you would be stoked about it, especially since like you and your sister always talk about camping and like doing off-road things, like packing your motorcycle and going on a long ride. It's the best feeling ever.
I couldn't even imagine. Like, it sounds like so much fun. I'm a little worried about like My arm's getting tired, though. Do your guys' arms get tired? Or, like, the vibration or something? I don't know.
I don't think it's my arm. It's more like my ass and my back. Yeah.
I don't know, though. You just keep moving. Like, if
Yeah.
I get in one position and my body gets tired, like, I just move around, throw my feet behind me, throw my feet in front of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like
Move
a
my
car.
body on
yeah.
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way better than being in a car. We did that, like, a couple of days ago, 8 hours in a car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how truck drivers do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you stop every 200 miles-ish and then go to a gas station, drink water, do a little stretching, and then hit the road again. But then you stop at like a campsite that night, like right before the sun is setting. So you get the sunset, you set up your tents, and then it's just like, life's so beautiful.
Nothing better. There's like nothing else in the world that makes me super stoked about life. It's just like getting on the bike and going somewhere very far, at least a few hours, and setting up a tent and being like, fuck, this is going to suck laying on the ground tonight, but I'm going to enjoy this campfire with my people.
Brandy's always packing like a cot or something, like a queen-sized air mattress somehow. I'm like over there. I'm like on my jacket.
Not me. I'm like,
That's funny.
Slightly bougie, but I share. Like, if
Yes,
I
you
got
do.
enough room, I'm like, let's make this into a 2-person kind of thing. Like, let's figure this out.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though. I would love to join on one of those long
Yeah. Well,
Totally
Sturgis is coming. Sturgis.
Well, I'm a little worried on the stunt bike. You know, if I'm
Yeah.
going to do shows somewhere, I get nervous if I ride the stunt bike all the way out there.
That's
and then
true.
What if something goes wrong? How am I going to get back? You know, I'm like, oh.
You'll get back. Your bike might for a few days, but you'll get back.
Yeah, that's true.
Catch a flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you ride the Dyna and then you have the Sportster on a trailer with somebody else.
I mean, not a
Just
terrible idea.
Swap them in and out.
Yeah.
That is going to be, we got to start planning that. I'm excited about that this year.
Yeah.
We get to finally ride a Sturgis again.
Yeah. Finally, it was last
like
year.
last year.
She's like, finally, it's here.
Seems like always forever, though. Like, we look forward to it, and then it's like, God, could you hurry up and get here, Sturgis?
Yeah.
It's like the best week of riding ever.
I love it.
So much fun.
It's cool because you've been to Sturgis, so
1 year.
Yeah.
I went 2020 or 2021.
21.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
How was it for you?
Oh my gosh, I had the best time ever. Like I said, I only started in 2021 riding the Harley. So I was still so new. Everyone like barely knew me, but they accepted me because they're like, "Oh, this girl wheelies Harley. She's all right. You know, we'll let her in."
Yeah.
So I kind of stayed with all these stunt riders at Camp Zero, and I had the best time of my life. I had so much fun. I met so many people. I was amazed that Sturgis was what it was, because you always hear about it, but if you don't go, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know? So I went and I was just utterly amazed.
yeah.
I love Sturgis. It's so much fun. I'm excited for this year for sure. Gonna bring both the Harleys for sure.
Yeah.
Gonna bring some minis because I know there's a lot of mini riding.
Oh, yeah.
But-
Yeah. It's the mecca of motorcycles, really.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to do that, especially if you're a Harley-Davidson rider. It's like, that's a pilgrimage that you have to do
Yeah.
when you're riding.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that. So, what was your first stunt show? It wasn't at Sturgis, right?
No, it was actually right before Sturgis
Okay.
last year. I planned to go to Sturgis last year. It was all set up. And then I did that stunt show. It was in Utah, Salt Lake. You remember before I do. I get all mixed up. But yeah, it was in Utah. I did it with Senders Only Boys and the Hive Crew. They're a group out there in Utah. And then Senders Only, Joey and Foley, they're out in San Diego. It was so much fun. They actually helped me a lot because I was all nervous. It's my first stunt show, you know, but they were there for me the entire time. They would like kind of pick up my slack when I would like want to sit in the side and be like, hold on, I need a second before I like do this. And then they were like, come on, like you got this. And they would challenge me and stuff like that. So it helped a lot. And I did this show for Ride and Destroy his name is Max. He got me on there, and I was more than stoked. I had my own little Dizzy booth and stuff. People were buying merch. They were buying Della Crew merch. I was super stoked. It was a lot of fun for sure.
That's rad.
So speaking of Delacrue, do you have anything in the works with Delacrue?
Ooh-wee, you
Called
know
out.
I do. Yeah, so in about 3 weeks now, it's coming up really quick on me. We are doing this little movie. So it's the first stunt riding girl movie that there ever has been.
Wow.
Her name's Krista, the one that runs Delacrue. She is really putting this all together for us. She's going to have us all out there in California next month. We're staying at this beach house, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty
that's so
stoked.
cool.
Yep. And then all these girls that stunt ride Harleys are all going to get together, and we're going to do a big filming on it. And I couldn't be more stoked about it, for sure. And I'm with a bunch of awesome girls, bunch of awesome people. Like I said, Ange was an inspiration for me. It's going to be my first time riding with Ange.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's legendary.
I know. I am so excited. And then I'm actually going to do the premiere for that at Red Rock Harley-Davidson.
That's what's up.
We're going to do that in May. So, yeah, it's super exciting.
So can you drop a few of the girls' names that are going to be in the movie? Or are you guys keeping that low key?
No, for sure. We're doing Becca, Tyrannosaurus Bex on Instagram. She's one of my good friends for sure, so I'm excited to see her. We're doing Becca, and then I know a lot of people by their Instagram names,
Yeah.
so
Drop 'em like
forgive
that.
me. Yeah, so Ange, and then Troublemaker, and Smashly Fits, which is also a part of the pool and stunt team. And I can't remember the rest right now, but
Chris isn't a
well,
in it.
yeah, Krista for sure. That's a given, though, you know.
Delacrue, baby.
I know. I couldn't be more stoked. I
That's
am
so
excited.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about it too because I feel like the stunt scene, like girls riding, like they're kind of like on their own to where like you see groups of girls usually that are like intertwined, and like you've got the Lita's groups, you've got the, you know, different types of women groups that ride together. But where the stunt scene, it seems like so segregated. Like you guys are all out doing your own thing. So to see you guys all come together and do it like for the bigger picture, that to me is rad. And that's why I was like, fuck yeah, I'll get behind that. Like that's tight.
Yeah, that is real cool.
Yeah, I'm super stoked.
Bringing women together instead of against each other. The only people you guys should be competing against is yourselves.
Yeah, and the boys.
Yeah, they don't even count.
I love that.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but I can't even believe it. I can't believe there's gonna be so many girls in one spot that stunt ride Harleys. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
gonna be
cool.
so dope.
You know, like it's still like really unheard of like even stunt riding Harleys, but let alone like a group of girls. Like,
Yeah.
how sick, you
Yeah.
know?
Super dope. That's one of the things that for Red Rock that I would love to see happen in October. We do Bell Brawl, of course, or I'm sorry, Brawl, right in Detroit Brawl. But we don't ever have a lot of girls compete in it. The boys have told me, yeah, that it's too like small of a space. There's like all these different things. It's uphill, so it's more challenging.
Yeah.
But I would love to see like all the girls get down at Red Rock. I think that
Well,
would
yeah,
be so dope.
especially because the girls are definitely kind of bringing themselves to the same level. Like, there's no reason why you can't.
Exactly,
So, like,
yeah.
it's cool because I feel like maybe you guys are motivating each other to keep, like, pushing it. Yeah, is that true?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And that would be super cool if we could do it at Red Rock. Like you said, the lot is a little iffy, but I'm sure a lot of us would be down for that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna work with Delacrue on that, or with Krista,
Yeah.
to see how we can make that happen, because I think that would be the shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Daughters of the Road will be there to support you guys.
Hell yeah.
Cheering you on. I don't got many party tricks, but, like,
No party tricks here. I can ride in a straight line.
she does burnouts every now
Oh
and then.
yeah.
There you go. I'll do rollers around you.
There you
I can
go.
do that. I like to make
See?
smoke.
Yeah, there we
Hell
go.
yeah.
Done.
That's
Sign
right.
me up.
Now you're a star writer. Let's go.
Watch out.
I'll let you guys do that part. I'll just enjoy it. Remember, I'm the old one here. I fall, I'm gonna break a hip.
No.
Stop.
So speaking of that, this is cool. You made a great point earlier before we got started. First episode was Penny, and like Penny was leading the generations. And I'll call myself out. This episode, I'm the oldest, Kristen, and you're literally 22 years old making waves. That's sick.
22. I feel like I'm getting old though. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm scared. What am I gonna do? You know, I'm having all those 22-year-old thoughts.
And then you look at me and you keep going, girl.
Exactly.
You just gotta do what you love.
Just
Both
keep
of you
going.
guys inspire me so much.
Oh.
Definitely.
We'll teach you how to ride in a straight line.
Just kidding. No, but that's the cool thing is that you're so young, so the whole world is open to you. There's an infinite amount of possibilities. Like literally, if you want to change what your direction the next day, like you can still do it.
That's why it's scary. I'm like, should I just full force this, or should I do this, or should I go over here? So it's like, that's why I'm like stressed out. But at the same time, I'm like following a passion. So like, I'm definitely running with that. I'm taking it all the way, seeing where it takes me. Because so far, it's taken me pretty far, and I'm like surprised myself. So like, I'm just gonna run with it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I know that like as I've gotten older, I mean, I'm not that old, but as I've gotten older, I have looked back on like what repeats in my life. So I know that the passions that I've had, like when I was a kid, like photography was huge in my life. Like that's all I asked for. Like every Christmas was a new camera or a new like memory card or something, you know? And it always came back to me, no matter how many times I changed the direction. Like all these little things that I loved, like reading books and telling stories, all that stuff has come back to me.
Isn't
constantly.
that so weird how that happens? So, like, in my life, my dad brought this up earlier. We were laughing about it over the phone. When he would take me out to go dirt bike riding or on my quad or something, he would fill up my gas, and then I would just go. And I'd do the same circle, like, over and over for hours. And then they would go in the trailer and do their own thing, you know. They know I'm out there. And then I would come back and drag the gas tank over to my dad. I'm like, I need gas. Right? And then I would go back out for hours and hours. And it's funny because, like, still to this day, when I'm at the lot, I'll be the one that doesn't come back and hang out with people or come back and talk. I'll just go for hours, like trying to learn a new trick. And people are like, what is she doing? Like, she's still out there, you know. I'm like sweating and stuff, but I won't stop till like I get the trick or like I get what I'm trying to do. And then on top of that, it's like fun for me. Like I started when I was 3 and I was doing that exactly, just doing those circles. So like when I go to the lot, it came back to me. Like I just do it over and over. Yeah. So I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah. And that's what following what is natural to you is always going to lead you in the right direction.
Definitely.
I promise that. So like, I just think following your passions is the way to go because you'll always feel like you want to go back to it. And then it's always better to go after the thing that you love than leave it behind. Yeah. Because you'll always feel more fulfilled in your passions.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, that's why my mom semi-supports me now.
Oh, yeah.
She hated it in the first place.
Really?
She did not want me to stunt ride. She didn't want me on motorcycles. She's not like my dad. She was like, let's just do something normal. And I was like, Ma, come on, you know? And then I kept doing it and kept doing it. Like I said, I was a rule breaker. I was a troublemaker. So I just kept doing it. And then finally it got to a point where she was like, oh, like she's following a passion here. Yes. She loves this. Like, and then she got on board with supporting me too.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate her so much. And she won't watch my videos and she won't watch me ride my bike, but from afar, she's like my cheerleader for sure.
Oh. That's how I feel my mom is too. Like she does not like me riding. Like even at my age still, she's like, Brady, let me know you're okay. Will you just let me know when you get there? Like, it's always, like, nerve-wracking. So most of the time when I go on the road, I don't tell my mom. And I'm like, shit. She's going to see this on social, and then she's going to be like, you didn't tell me you were going that far. But it was really cool to see your mom, too. Like, you worked but you came out to support an event Red Rock was at, and you did some autographs and some signing, and you were like, Brady, my mom's here. My mom's coming. This is so rad. And it was so cool to see how excited she was that her mom was coming to support her. That's kind of how I feel, too. Like, I think it'd be so dope, like, one day when my mom's like, where are you going? Okay, I'll go.
And then she put on the Dizzy shirt because I sell a little bit of merch. So she was wearing her DizzyStunts shirt. I was like, Mom, that's so cute,
It
you know?
is cute.
It was awesome. It was cool to see that.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my mom's totally that same as yours, Brandy, I think. She's just like, it's too windy outside. Don't you dare go out. Or like, you know, just always stressing about, because I would quit my jobs and leave for the road for a month. And that keeps coming into my life too, but we're not going to talk about that. So like I would just go out on the road for a month, whether it be with a friend, with friends, with my dad, or by myself. Like there would literally be times where I just don't tell her, and I'm just out there sleeping on park benches at 3 a.m. And like if she would have known that, I'm sure she would have just like had a fuss. But you know, you just gotta follow your heart.
We're still here.
We're still here.
Yeah,
Still kicking. Look at us go.
We're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. No, but I remember I got into a pretty gnarly accident. What was it? It's been 10 years now. So I got into a pretty gnarly accident. I was on a cross-country trip, and I broke, like, my whole right side. And I was in Kentucky, and I had to get life flighted to Tennessee. And then when I was in the hospital in Tennessee, like, obviously I was under a lot of drugs and surgeries and stuff. So I had no track of time. But when I woke up, my mom was there. Okay. And it was crazy because she like dropped everything and just went to be there with me, and she took care of me the whole damn time. She was suctioning my mouth, like doing everything for me. And it's like the mother's support is so important. And I think it's awesome that you have your mom's support, and you know she's gonna see you through the triumphs and through the fails, and she's gonna be there for you every step of the way. So that's awesome. Like, I'm glad that she's on your side with that. That's
Definitely.
Really cool. Yeah,
I love her so much. She's awesome.
That's so cute.
It's so funny because we're all like, I feel like we all work hard, the three of us, to prove to our dads, but to our moms, like, our moms are our world, and we want to like keep them in this little safe box or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Our moms are our world, but we want to please dad because we know we can please mom. My mom thinks I'm cool as shit.
Oh yeah, Sam.
My dad, I'm like, oh, I could do this. Like, I'm just gonna do it to prove you wrong a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we always want to be like our dad, and we're protecting our moms. That's so funny. That is so funny. I've never thought of that pattern, but it is such a pattern.
It is such. I think it's part of being like a tomboy. Like, we're little boys, but we're little girls.
Yeah. I saw a post, I think you posted it recently. It was like, thanks for teaching me how to be a man, Dad. Even though I'm your daughter, thanks.
Yep, exactly. Oh my God. But that's the funny thing is my dad never, ever thought, or I'm sure he thought of me as a girl, but like he never treated me like a little dainty girl. It was always like, I'm doing the same thing as my brother. I get no excuses. I'm picking that bike up no matter how much it weighs. Like there was no like toning it down for my dad. And I think that comes from his military background. Like girls and dudes are on the same level. And that's how I was treated growing up. And I'm so grateful for that because there's nothing I feel that I can't achieve if I put my mind to it. And there's no reason why a girl can't do something versus a guy, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I love that. And I love that you're out there killing it and not thinking about it like I'm a girl in the stunt scene. You're just killing it because you want to be a stunt rider and that's what you love.
Yeah, actually it's funny because I started, there's not a lot of girls around here that stunt ride, so especially in Las Vegas alone. So I started and I was competing with all of these boys. Yeah. And they were pushing me as hard as they would push one of their friends. Like, they didn't care I was a girl. They were like, no, you got this. Like, get no-handers today. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't do no-handers. And then I was doing no-handers by the end of the day, you know, on the Grom. Not on the Harley yet, but the boys definitely would push me just like they would the other boys. So I'm really appreciative of that, for sure. And same thing with the Dyna last month, 2 months ago now. They were just treating me like one of the boys. They're like, get off your Sportster. You know, come on, like move up a little bit. Like you can lift this bike up. You got it. And I was like, all right. I was kind of playing the little dainty girl part. I was like, I can't do that. I'm too small. And they're like, no, you're not. Like, get on this bike. You got this. And I was like, all right, like I'll try it. But my dad definitely always taught me like that too. Whenever we'd crash, he'd be like, "Get up, kid.
Yeah.
You're fine." And we would get up and we were fine, you know. But I'm really appreciative for that too. Definitely being grown up that way, because it's gotten me to where I am now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a different kind of mindset, but it's a powerful mindset
Yeah.
to think of yourself as just like a human that's determined, and that's what's rad. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have my dad in my life at that time, like growing up. My mom raised me. So she was always like, get your ass up. You can do it. You got to be strong. You got to take care of yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. So that's the way I was pushed. So whenever, like me comparing myself to a boy, I never did that, because I was like, if he can do it, I can fucking do it too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
Go mom. Thank you.
Go mom.
Well, thanks, Mom and Dad.
Have you had any gnarly crashes?
That's what I was
I'm curious.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yes, definitely, most definitely. When I first started riding, I was crashing like every month. Every few weeks, actually.
Oh, God.
It was a lot. Like, I didn't care. I was like, I know you have to crash to get good, and you have to crash to learn what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So I was just crashing all the time. I get like scrapes, bruises, like road rash, all this different stuff. I ended up breaking my hand, I think last year, the year before that. I broke some tendons, a couple bones in my hand. It was pretty
there
bad.
she
There you go.
Yeah.
Battle wounds.
Some road rash in that too. So that one was one of my worst for sure. I have two really bad ones. The other ones are like skateboard riders when they just like plump on their butt and get a scrape on their elbow. So it wasn't that extreme when I was crashing, but that one, I did crash pretty bad and I was hurt. That didn't stop me from wheeling the next week, though.
Yeah.
I was back on the bike next week, like
In a cast, just like.
with my gas. Yeah, I couldn't use my thumb, so it was just like the grip right here. I had to like let go of the clutch, you know. It was a lot.
That's badass. I love
some
that.
easy pulls.
Yeah, right.
One finger, something.
I was pushing the limits for sure. And then my most recent crash, it was a pretty bad one for sure. I was in a construction zone, like kind of near my house. It was like a closed off road, but they had the cones where it was like swerving in and out. Like, you know how Vegas is. We have a lot of construction, a lot of road work. So I was just riding and I was going about 50 miles per hour. I was in a wheelie. I was on the Grom. I was in third gear all alone. I was just chilling, like going through the cones and stuff. And then bam, there's a median, like this little curb median. And I didn't see it because it was so dark. My headlight is straight up in the air, so I have no lights. And then I hit that. Oh, it was such a bad one. And I was alone, too, so it was like, oh my gosh. My bike went flying like 100 feet. I went about 50 feet. And I got back up. I picked up all my pieces from the road. I'm like running around, like picking up all my pieces. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I gather all of my jacket, and I like ride home, like, borderline laughing because I was like, if anyone saw that, that'd be embarrassing, you know? But I rode home, and then after that, I kind of like cooled off on all the really, really crazy things and riding alone. I never ride alone now because that could have been worse, you know? And what would I have done? Like, what if my phone broke? I'd have no one to call. Like, I'm just sitting there on the side of the road in this construction zone where no one's driving because it's a closed off road. So like it was kind of a wake up call for me. I was like, you better like watch it, you know? So after that one, I kind of chilled out, but I've had like little, like I said, like skateboard crashes, like just little scrapes on the elbows and stuff like that since then. But yeah, that was my last really bad one. Other than that, I haven't gotten in any like car accidents where I've hit in a car. Not really. I was gonna bring up this one time, but I just like, no, let's not bring it up. Let's not bring it up, actually.
Backpedal.
But what you're saying,
Race.
what you're saying is basically you need to put the skin in the game when you're
Yes.
trying to do stunt riding.
100%. Don't expect to just like start wheeling and never crash. Like we do crash for sure. A lot of the people that are really good have been through the craziest of crashes and have broken bones and done this and done that. So like I expected that when I first started, and I got just that. And people would always tell me it's not if, it's when.
Yeah.
So just expect it. And I would definitely, and it's not like I don't expect to not crash again. Like, I know with the scene that I'm in, I'm for sure going to go down again. Maybe hard, maybe not, but I definitely am not oblivious to it.
That's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, shout out to Dustin, who lost half of his stomach.
Oh, Dustin's crash.
Yeah, that was just, I'm glad I wasn't around at that time.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Little context, that's Brandy's fiance. He's a stunt rider. He mostly stunt rides baggers now, but he was on a Dyna at that time, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened.
So I just have seen the video too many times, but he was on the Dyna and he was wheeling, and from what I understand, they cut his fender that day. Him and Jeff had cut his fender, so he was scraping. He was going back to scrape, and it was way past whatever you guys cut him. I don't know how you cut him, but it was too far back or up or whatever, and he went back, and the bike just came down on him and smashed his belly, and he got back up and got on the bike and went to the house, and they finally took him to the doctor. I think it was hours later, and they took him to the hospital, and cause he was like, I don't feel good. And the funniest part of it is, like, he got to the hospital and they wouldn't treat him. Like, they were like, oh, just stop being a baby or whatever. So they left and went to another hospital. I think Jeff took him, and what do you call it? He had his insides were all jacked, and they had to end up cutting some of his intestines out because of the bike landing on him.
That's crazy.
So, but he still does it. Like,
Yeah,
now he's just doing it on a fucking bagger. I'm like, but it's gotten a little easier now of like watching him, because in the beginning, like, I've never been around stunt riding. Wasn't around stunt riding and really until I started seeing Dustin, and watching him over the years, it was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, okay, you've got to trust that he knows what he's doing, and that if something happens, he's gonna be all right. He'll get through it, and he's done it before.
Yeah.
So it's gnarly, like, watching your significant other, like, doing that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Definitely.
Yeah.
like, can you just ride with both wheels down, and can you just go real far? And no, that's not his passion. That's not what he likes.
I mean,
to do.
and you can still get hurt doing that. So
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know?
See?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
point.
You're right. But
I remember
it is.
my first time in a wheelie, like, on the back of somebody's bike, and there's this picture that somebody took of me, and I'm like,
It just came to my head.
it zooms in, and like different, like you swipe on the Instagram
You were the one
carousel.
that zoomed into it.
Somebody, it zooms in, and my eyes are like, whoa, like I'm a person that needs to be in control, and it was the most funny thing, because that was my first time on a wheelie. We're in like a big group pack and everything, and I'm like holding on. You could see like the veins in my arms and everything. I'm like, oh my god! And this picture just perfectly encapsulates that moment of me freaking the fuck out.
That was the best photo
Yeah.
ever. Like, when you did it on your story and like time lapse version of it, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
Each
I'm
picture
dead
just,
right now.
just zooms in a little bit more to my eye, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh my god, it was so funny.
That is so good. I don't think I've wheelied on the back of anybody's bike.
Oh wow.
Well, shoot, let's change
I know,
that.
Dustin,
know, right?
come on.
We'll change it tonight. I
She'll get on the back of Dizzy. That's rad. That's so rad.
I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it. But I don't know. I feel like I'd be like you a little bit, like, kind of scared. To
Well,
be
it's the control thing, I think, because like if I know that I've played around with wheelies and I wasn't afraid. I was more so just like, oh fuck, I gotta get it. But being on the back of somebody else's bike and not knowing, like, it was a dude that would like totally not fuck it up, I think. But at the same time, it was just a control thing where I'm like, oh my god, all I'm doing is hanging on and hoping that this goes well.
And in a pack too, like in
a pack, yeah.
That's scary. As
Just getting ran over by the next Harley.
Right.
Dude, I remember we were on a group ride and I was on the back again, and some kid looped out in front of us and his body literally came rolling right beside my foot.
Oh my god.
And I was like, holy crap, I don't want to go on these rides anymore. Like, it's too emotional. It's like you're constantly watching everything and I'm not even in control. I'm just like, oh my god, like everybody's going down. Like, it's just mayhem.
That's how I feel. I'm like, oh my god, it just takes one person. Everybody's going.
Everybody's down.
Exactly.
Dominoes.
It is definitely scary for sure.
Yeah, I went on a Grom ride once, and it was so funny because I had my little sister behind me. My little sister, nobody really rides. My little sister was like, okay, I'm excited. Like, she rides behind her friends or whatever, but she rode behind me, and Dustin was in front of me, and he was wheeling. And whenever we do, like, Grom rides or, like, stunt rides, I always try to stay to the very far right-hand side to stay out of everybody's way. I usually stay right behind Dustin or, like, somewhere I can still see him. But he was up in a wheelie and his shoelace got stuck to his peg.
Oh my
and
gosh.
he freaking crashed. And my little sister behind me, and
She's just like scarred for life.
So then I go down too, because I was like, if I go left, I'm gonna like go into the pack, and who knows who's wheeling to the left of me. So I like kind of like go to the right, and sure enough, like we both just slide and like hurt my finger. Like my thumb will never be the same. What was the point of this? Stunt riding
in groups, man.
So I was so weirded out about it because I was like, somebody is gonna just smash us. They're gonna run over my sister. We're all gonna freaking end life here.
Yeah.
And this is how we die.
Dumb ways to die.
Yeah, right?
No, but it's awesome. It's really cool seeing you out there, especially in the groups, like killing it too, just making yourself a little, carving out your little space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love
definitely.
it.
It still worries me though in the packs, you
Yeah.
know. I'm always keeping out. I'm turning my neck all the time because I don't have like mirrors right now, so I'm always looking behind me, making sure of my surroundings before I do anything.
Yeah.
I'm always worried too, for sure.
Yeah. So you've been dropping little videos of you drifting in cars. Is that a new venture? What's
The
going on there?
drifting. I love drifting. My dad, again, introduced it to me when I was just a little kid. He would do it in his cars, out in the dunes, in the desert, anywhere he could, because he's like that crazy type of guy. But then I got some friends a few years ago, but I really got into it last year. George Kirakopoulos, he's a professional drifter. Peter Christopoulos, professional drifter. They're really, really good at what they do. And I just kind of started going for ride-alongs with them, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it feels so crazy to like feel like you're about to crash, but then you don't crash. And you're like, that's awesome. Like, I love that. You know, we didn't crash. So I ended up driving Peter Christopoulos' car for a little bit. He was like teaching me a couple techniques on it, and I was like, okay, like let me try this. You know, I think I got it. And I started to get it, and I was more than stoked. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do this for sure. Earlier on this year, a little later last year, I was like, okay, I'm going to get my own drift car. I'm going to do this. And then I kind of leaned off of that and went towards another Harley. I was like, actually, I want another Harley. I want a second Harley because that's just like my passion. You know, I love the Harley scene. I love motorcycles, all of that. So I ended up getting another Harley instead of the drift car, but it is definitely in my plan to get a car. I want a little drift car of my own. I don't know how, like the stunt riding, I don't know how far I'll take it. I don't know where I'll go with it, but I just know that I want to do that. I don't know if I'll get super good at it or something, but it's definitely in my plans for this upcoming year or for sure early next year. I'm going to get a little drift car.
Hell yeah.
I'll take you guys for a ride along and stuff.
I'm with it.
Yes,
I got to ride with George once, and it was so fun. Like like you're going into corners and you're literally sideways. I'm like looking at people this way. I'm like, ah. And I close my eyes a lot. And when I'm scared, I close my eyes.
I do too sometimes. But yeah, the drifting's so much fun.
It is. I
Like
love that.
it's like ice skating or
Yeah.
something,
Yes.
you know? You feel like it's just sliding and gliding. You're like, wow.
And to have that kind of control over four wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I kind of like the whole cage around you, you know? Like,
Yeah.
riding, you don't get the cage. Like, we're just drifting on these motorcycles, like, without a cage. Our legs are out, our arms are out, our head, you know? So it's a little bit more worrisome. So that's also what turned me on to drifting. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, like, this seems pretty safe compared to what I'm doing over here,
Yeah.
you know? So I definitely got into that last year, and I am going to continue that. But right now, I'm definitely putting my full focus into the Harleys and the Harley scene and the shows that I'm doing this year and all of that until I make enough and have enough time to actually get my own car and go to the track and do that stuff also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking on that, I know it's kind of hard to look 5 to 10 years out, but I always ask this, like, do you have any goals for the next 5 to 10 years? Do you see yourself somewhere?
I do, but then again, I don't, because just like how I started the stunt scene, I had no idea that I would get here. I had no idea. So now that I'm here, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to just take this and run with it, especially while I'm still young, under 25. I'm just going to, like, do what I love, do my passion. I can make a living off of it for now. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. I know it's not the best, like, most responsible thing, like, the most responsible plan, but I'm definitely going to run with it because it's something I love.
Well, that's the cool thing about life is that you can create it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm creating something that not a lot of people create, but I am going with it. And I'm having the best time ever. I'm very happy with what I chose. It's been a very fun couple years doing what I do, for sure.
Yes, ma'am. I love that.
So in 5 to 10 years, you see yourself still in the motorcycle industry?
Yeah, I mean, I'm running with it until I can't, or until, like, I don't have a passion in it, which I don't think will ever happen.
No.
I think this is, like, a lifelong thing for sure. Like, Ange, you know, she's out there still rocking and rolling, and she has a kid of her own. Putting her kid on the bike and stuff.
It's just life at that point. It just encapsulates everything that you do.
Exactly.
So I definitely see that for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like even when you're mixing in new skills like drifting and everything, I mean, who knows where that can lead you? You're doing a movie. Who knows if that's another movie? If that's you being in the, what is it, SAG, AFTRA, whatever, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
If you get that and you're in that guild where you're constantly creating movies as a stunt person, who knows? The world's open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't, like, really have a 5 or 10 year plan. That's why I'm just, like, running with it. I'm like, whatever comes of this, I want it, you know?
Yes.
Like, anything. I am a very yes type of person. Like, when people say things, I'm like, okay. Like, why not, you know?
That'll get you far, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got so many things that are coming up, so many exciting new skills that you're learning. How do people follow along with you?
Definitely my Instagram is my most known and the thing that I post on most. That goes along with Facebook. I don't have a YouTube yet. I'm planning on making it. I get a lot of questions about YouTube and, like, trying to make a moto vlog and stuff. I haven't made it yet, but I plan on it, guys. And then definitely, like, TikTok and, like, all the usual social media things. If you just look up DizzyStunts, I'll pop right up.
Man, I tried to put you on TikTok today, and they said it was against their guidelines.
I know. I hate that.
TikTok don't like me
TikTok
so
don't
much.
like you.
No,
So YouTube.
Yeah, they get rid of my account sometimes. They don't like the wheelies and stuff.
Yeah.
But definitely Instagram is my main. If you want to keep track on where I'm going and what I'm doing throughout the years, what shows I'm doing, definitely Instagram stories and Instagram reels, posts, different stuff like that.
And you have a web page too, like they can find you.
Yep.
You have your own.
I have my merch on there, different sponsors. It's just DizzyStunts.com. It's super easy. Anything, like, you want to look me up on, even Google, you could just look up DizzyStunts. There's not a lot of DizzyStunts out there.
Yeah.
Took that name up. But yeah, just my website is about to come out with some new merch, so you guys definitely look out for that. I'm gonna make some pretty cool shirts this month, so
Nice.
yeah.
You want to give a little shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah.
Definitely. I definitely want to give a shout out to Red Rock Harley, Delacruz, Krista at Delacruz. She's awesome. There's a lot of people helping me build this Harley right now. Basani, Lucky Dave's. Definitely the support from all of my family, my mom, my sister, my dad, everybody, all my friends. I have so many that I'm not naming, and if you're out there listening, I love you. But yeah, there's just a lot of people that I really appreciate and love for helping me out right now. Joey Wells, thank you. Building my bike out in New York right now. But yeah, I love all the support I get, and I'm more than grateful for it.
That's awesome. So thank you again, Darika, for joining us for this podcast. And we're so excited to see, you know, from where you've come at such a young age, we just know that you are bound to do so many great things. So it's super exciting to be a part of that journey, and we're so stoked for you.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are here for me.
Absolutely. For
Absolutely.
your cheerleaders, too.
Yes. So,
Hell
Miss
yeah.
Red Rock over here, do you have any exciting updates?
We do. We have a St. Patrick's Day party coming up next Saturday, March 11th, from 11 to 1. We'll have green beer. We're going to have some Irish stew and good times. So if you're in the area, come check us out at Red Rock Harley.
Heck yeah. So we appreciate you guys again for tuning in. We look forward to the next episode. I'll be gone for about 3 weeks, and then we'll be coming back in April to bring you a new episode with this very special guest that we can't wait to tell you about. But until then, you can follow along on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all the good platforms. So we'll catch you on there. Until next time, guys.